So today's lesson is on evaluating using bed math, which a lot of people learned in grade 7 and 8. So we're learning to use the proper order of operations to evaluate a numeric expression. And then also communication-wise, we're learning how to use one equal sign per line to write our solution vertically, so going downwards, using logically equivalent expressions. Okay, so I'm going to keep going over how important equals is when we write a mathematical statement. Okay, so when multiple operations are in a numeric expression, you have to follow BEDMAS to get the mathematically correct answer. So we've got brackets are first priority, exponents are second priority, divide and multiply are third priority, and it says how they occur from left to right. So if divide comes before multiply, then divide first and then multiply. If multiply comes before divide, then multiply first and then divide. We're going to do a lot of examples, so by the end you'll be good. And then same with add and subtract your priority 4, and it's from left to right as well. Okay? So there's your BEDMAS. And I'm going to write it out here so that's always there for us to see as we are going through the questions. So priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, priority 4. Okay. So use BEDMAS and all you've learned about operations with integers to correctly evaluate. Use proper mathematical communication. So this may be something that's different for you from grade 7 and 8, especially if you did a lot of it on the computer, okay, or on your calculator. And show your steps correctly one step at a time. So I've already got an equals prompt here for you on the first one. So the first thing you're going to do in a question that involves more than one operation is check and see if there's brackets. Is there brackets? Yes. Is there something to do inside the brackets? Yes. Okay, so is there brackets and is there something to do inside them? Yes. So we're going to keep the 3 there because we want to make a logically equivalent statement even though we're not using it yet. And then we're going to do 10 subtract 15. Okay, and we can use our calculator to do that. 10 subtract 15 is, yeah, 5. 5? Negative 5, good. All right, and then we have 3, and then in brackets, negative 5. Who remembers what a number right beside a bracket means? Multiplication. So this means times. So 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. So I've got one equal sign per line. I'm showing my thinking with logically equivalent statements. So even though I did the negative 5 here, I still have the 3, okay? Because this expression is equal to this one, and this one is equal to this one, okay? These are all different ways of writing negative 15, okay? All right, next one. So we've got negative 5 plus 12 divided by negative 3. So remember, this is our division bar. It's kind of a grade 9 and high school way of writing divided by. Okay. So following BEDMAS, is there brackets? No. Is there an exponent? No. Is there division or multiplication? Yes, there's division. So we do that first, but we still keep the negative 5 here, even though we're not using it yet. So 12 divided by negative 3, we can do that on our calculator, is negative 4. So what happens if I've got plus negative 4? How can I write that really pretty? Instead of having 2 signs touching each other, I can put this in a bracket to be a level 4++ communication. So if I add negative 5, so I'm at negative 5, and then I add negative 4, I'm at negative 9? Good. So negative 5, adding another negative, I'm making it more negative, I get to negative 9. So again, remember I need to write this negative 5 down even though I'm not using it yet because it has to be equal to what came before it. Equal sign is like so important. All right, so I didn't prompt you, so put an equal sign right away, first step. And then go through BEDMAS. Is there a bracket? Yes. Is there something to do inside of it? Yes. So we'll leave the -2 out front. Do what's inside, 2 plus 3. And then it's to the exponent 2. We just started talking about exponents yesterday. But it's the second one on our list. Is there an exponent? Yes. So does anyone know what 5 to the exponent 2 is? And explain how you know what that is. Yes? It's 25. Everybody good with that? 5 to the power of 2 means 5 times 5. So you can type 5 times 5 on your calculator and get 25. Awesome. And then again, we have this number right beside a bracket, which we have to know means multiply. So -2 times 25 is -50. Okay? So following order of operations. This one's, I put a little star beside. Most people get this one, but a lot of people tend to forget and multiply the -2 in and then square it. And if you do that, you get 100, which isn't the right answer. Okay, so make sure you always have dead mass written somewhere on your page. It's, so your mind always goes to it. All right, so I'd start this one too. It's a bit tricky. We've got 11 minus 3 and then brackets -2. So when I'm asking myself in my head, I'm saying, yeah, there's brackets. Then I ask myself, is there anything to do inside the brackets? No, there's just one number inside. Does everyone see that? So then, yeah, you may. So now we go to there was brackets, but there was nothing to do. Is there an exponent? No. Is there division or multiplication? Anyone think there's division or multiplication? Yeah. Okay, the 3 is beside the 2 in brackets. So we're going to keep our 11 subtract, and then we're going to do the 3 times -2, because we know a number right beside a bracket. -6. So I'm going to put that in brackets so I don't have two signs touching each other. And then if I put 11 minus -6 in my calculator in my brain, what am I going to get? 17, positive 17. Remember, so you get 11, you think subtract is going this way, but if you're subtracting a negative, you actually go that way. And you can make sure you can type it in your calculator. If you're having trouble typing that in your calculator, ask your tutor, okay? And they can show you how to get that. All right, E. Right, so first thing we check for is brackets. Is there brackets? Yes. Is there something to do inside of them? Yes. So we're going to do that first. So we need our equal sign. Still need the -5 plus 3 bracket, and then we're going to do what's inside the bracket. Yep. 3. Is there an exponent? No. Is there a division or multiplication? Yes. So this is multiplication. So we'll do that next. So I'm still going to keep my -5 plus 3 times 3 is 9. And -5 plus 9. So -5 plus 9 gets me to 4. Good. Okay, this one looks pretty complicated. But we'll relax and keep that mass in mind. So is there brackets? Yep, but is there anything to do inside of it? No, there's just a number. Is there an exponent? No. Is there division or multiplication? Yes, they're the same weighting, so I do them in order from left to right. So what comes first in this question, a multiply or a divide? A multiply, because we have a number beside a bracket. So -15 plus 7 times 6 is 42. You can use your calculator for that, no problem. And then minus, then my divide comes. So because they're on the same weighting, I can do them from left to right as I go across the question, or I can take 2 steps if I want to. It doesn't matter to me, okay? But I can do that 30 divided by 2 now and get 15. Because they're the same weighting, they're both level 3s, which means you do them from left to right. And then same with adding and subtracting. I could do that all at once and type in my calculator. Negative 15 plus 42 minus 15, and I would get 12. Okay. Nice. All right. So now we're going to try them to on the whiteboard. Okay, so I'm going to put excellence. So we're trying them. You did that. Cross out each answer from the list below, and you're based on your success criteria that you use the correct order of operations, which is BEDMAS. The correct integer rules are used. Steps are shown vertically with one equal sign per line. Each step is logically equivalent to the one before, and you end up with the correct value. So for the first one, I saw every person on the whiteboard doing the -6 plus -20, which was awesome. So you did the multiply first, but kept the -6 there, and ended up with -26. Perfect. The second one, again, BEDMAS, so I saw a couple different things. I saw some people do the 4 times 3 first and keep the -5 times 2. Whereas other people did both multiplications at the same time. So either first step is correct. Okay? If this was your first step, you do the multiplication second. And if this was your first step, you just go straight to 2. Both are fine. Okay? Then the next one I saw was really good. Did anyone's group were they tempted to do the 4 minus 3 first? Did anyone do that? No? So we're all following BEDMAS? Awesome. So we saw the brackets, and we did the brackets first, and 5 plus 2 is 7. And then we realized that a number right beside a bracket is multiply. So we got 4 minus 21, and that ends up being negative, because 4, and then you're taking away 21, -17. Now we're at the invisible brackets, so we'll explain these to the people at home. So when your whole question is a fraction bar question, there's invisible brackets around the top and invisible brackets around the bottom. Okay? So when the whole question's a fraction bar, you have to make the top as small as possible and the bottom as small as possible. And then this divide here is your last step, okay? So you have to remember those invisible brackets you're not going to see. So the first step is, how do I make the top as small as possible? Well, I follow BEDMAS within just the top, okay? So what's there to do inside the brackets? Add. -5 plus -30. So if I'm adding 2 negatives together, I get more negatives, so it's -35. And there's nothing I have to do to make the bottom smaller. So I just leave it as 7. But then I have to remember this vertical division bar means divide. So on my calculator, I would type in, or in my brain, if I'm good at my times tables, -35 divided by 7 is -5. So invisible brackets you probably didn't think when you saw BEDMAS you'd have to think about invisible brackets as well as the brackets you see, right? So that's the one tricky one there. This one, is there brackets? Yes. Is there anything to do inside of them? No. Is there an exponent? Yes. So we're going to do that first. So we keep the -3 up front for our communication. 2 to the power of 3. So when your brain sees a 2 and a 3 together, your brain thinks 6. So you have to slow your brain down and remind yourself that 2 to the power of 3 means 2 times 2 times 2. Okay? Which is 8. Good. So your brain is so used to 2 times 3 that it sees a 2 and a 3, it automatically does that. Okay? So slow yourself down and think to yourself, what does that mean? And then, is there division or multiplication? Yes, there's multiplication because there's a number right beside a bracket. So -3 times 8 is -24 plus 10 is -14. You owe 24, you give back 10, you still owe 14. and F. Is there brackets? Yes. Here, here, and here. But we're only going to do what if there's something we can do inside the bracket, which is this one. 8, positive 8, subtract 13, gets me to -5, plus, there's nothing to do inside those brackets, so we'll just leave them. Okay? Is there exponents? No. Division or multiplication? Yeah? The multiplications of the two brackets side by side is times. So I would do that next, which means I still have to write the -7 minus -5 plus -7. Because 7 times -1 is -7. So anytime you have a double sign, put your second one in brackets. Okay? All right, and now that we're just going from left to right and it's all add and subtract, we could do it all at once. I saw some people taking 2 steps, which was fine. So they did -7 minus -5 and got -2. And then -2 and -7 is -9. Awesome. Okay, well, we've got 5 minutes, so we'll start the next page here. So evaluate using BEDMAS and using correct mathematical communication. So I think what we'll do is you try and then, okay, so somebody walk me through it. What was your first step? Yep. Yep, exponents. So you left the 3. And then what did you put in the brackets? 8. Okay. If you put 6, catch yourself. 2 to the power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2. And then 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, try B. Okay, Alexa, can you walk me through this one?
Yeah. So you start with 12 times 3 and then equals 36.
So you keep the 200.
Yeah.
And then minus 36. Awesome.
And then you do 200 minus 36 and then you get 164.
Awesome. Everybody good with that one? Okay, the next one is one of those invisible bracket questions. So see if you can do that one. Okay, anyone can volunteer to walk me through this one? There's invisible brackets around the top and the bottom because it's a fraction bar question. So how do I make the top as simple as possible? Yep, go ahead. Yep, thank you.
What I did was 25 times 3 minus 5 over 5.
Awesome. Just give me 1 second. Which is 70 divided by 5, which is?
14.
14, okay, you're great. Thanks, guys. All right, the next one for D, no brackets, but there is an exponent, so I would do that first. So I still need to write down my 4 times 3, even though I'm not using it yet, minus 3 squared, I'm thinking 3 times 3 in my head, okay, so this is my thinking here, is 9, so that should be my first step, okay? So then, is there division or multiplication? Yes, there's multiplying, so I do that next. 4 times 3 is 12, minus 9 is 3. Okay, next one, it's got that division bar again, so there's invisible brackets around the top and the bottom. So I'm thinking invisible brackets. Is there anything to do in the top? No, it's just a number, so write it down. Is there anything to do in the bottom? Yes, a subtraction. 9 minus 5 is 4. Now it's a division. So I can type it in my calculator. Negative 36 divided by 4, negative 9. And then the last one's a fraction bar 2. Or not the next one, I should say, not the last one. So this time there's something to do inside both invisible sets of brackets. So 22 take away 6 is 16. Negative 1 plus 9 is 8. And then I have to remember this is a vertical divided by here. 16 divided by 8 is 2. Okay, so invisible brackets around the top and the bottom. 22 minus 6 is 16. Negative 1 plus 9 is 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2. Good? All right. Next one, I'm going to give you time. Okay. So for this one, you would ask yourself, is there brackets? And you would say yes. So there's these inner brackets with just a number inside, but then there's these ones that have something to do inside. So you're going to do that first. Who knows what 3 subtract negative 7 is? 3 subtract negative 7? Yeah. 10. Good. Subtract the negative. You add. Negative 5 times 10 is negative 50. And our last one, I'll give you time. Okay. Brackets first. Exponents. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording.